My dad didn't yell, he didn't argue, he didn't even pause to think. Just one text, cold, sharp, final. You're not my daughter anymore. Talk to my lawyer. 6 words, 33 years of family, gone. I remember the kitchen light above me flickering like it couldn't decide whether to stay on or give up. My phone buzzed once, then went quiet. No explanation, no hesitation, just exile, typed out and sent. I stared at the screen for a long moment. Then I typed one word back. Cool. Not angry, not shocked. Just done. I set the phone on the counter, opened my laptop, and made one decision. The kind that ends bloodlines, not lives. Because I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to end every lie they'd ever built on my back. See, I've always said the soul of a house lives in its kitchen. And the kitchen I grew up in Santa Rosa, always smelled like burnt toast, cheap whiskey, and tension. My dad, Richard Lane, loved control, dim lights, quiet voices, low emotions. My stepmom Denise, she loved things that looked perfect, as long as no one peeked under the surface. And my brother Chris walked through that house like it was his kingdom. Me? I learned early to take up as little space as possible. People say birth order shapes who you are. Nah. In my house, it was roles. Chris was the hero. I was the fixer. If Dad yelled, I apologized. If Chris messed up, I cleaned it. When bills went unpaid, I found the money. By the time I left for college, I thought I was escaping. But distance doesn't free you when guilt keeps calling. 4 years ago, Dad called crying, real tears. I'd never seen that man crack before. He said the house was going under, the bank breathing down his neck. Chris had let him down. Denise was sick with stress. And then he said it. Emmy, you're the only one I can count on. Those words hooked me like a fish. So I started paying. The mortgage, the bills, the endless little emergencies. It became routine. My paycheck came in, theirs went out. I told myself it was love. But really, it was control disguised as dependence. Then, a week before that text, everything got weird. Dad was jumpy. Denise flinched every time her phone buzzed. Chris wouldn't answer my calls. It felt like the calm before a storm I didn't see coming. Until one night, Uncle Terry texted me. No message, just the video. I opened it. The video started shaky, filmed from the side of my dad's dining room, the same table where I used to do homework. Everyone was there. Dad, Denise, Chris, the chandelier too bright, their faces too relaxed. Then Dad's voice filled the room, smooth and smug. She's not a daughter, he said. She's a damn ATM. The room burst out laughing. Denise chuckled, shaking her head. Richard, stop. She works too hard to notice. Chris leaned back, smirking. She's pathetic, man. Always trying to justify why she sends money. It's embarrassing. More laughter. Someone whistled. Someone toasted. Then Dad raised his beer and said, to my personal ATM, long may she pay. Cheers. Glasses clinking. Pure joy. And me? I just sat there, frozen. It wasn't shock. It was clarity. Because for the first time, I wasn't looking at my family. I was looking at people who saw me as a bank account with feelings they didn't have to respect. Halfway through the video, my phone buzzed again. Dad, you're not my daughter anymore. Talk to my lawyer. And that's when it hit me. They weren't reacting to something I'd done. They were preempting what they thought I might do. They thought I'd found out. They thought cutting me off would keep me quiet. Big mistake. I typed one word, cool. And that was the moment I stopped being their foundation. That night, I sat down at my laptop. I wasn't crying, I wasn't trembling, I was calculating. Step 1, cancel the mortgage payments. 48 months of automatic transfers gone. Click, confirm. Step 2, utilities, water, power, internet. All in my name, all cancelled. Step 3, the emergency fund. The cash apps to Denise and Chris, gone. Then I opened a new document, titled it, Transactions, Lane Family. Line by line, I listed every payment I'd made, every date, every dollar, every time I bailed them out. Watching it fill up felt like reading my own autopsy report. The phone started buzzing like crazy. Chris. You better not be acting dramatic. Denise. Mortgage is due tomorrow. Don't make this harder. Delete, delete, delete. I wasn't angry. I was done. The next morning, I checked the mortgage portal. Payment failed. Red banner flashing. And for the first time in years, I felt relief. By noon, the text turned desperate. Denise's voice messages filled with panic. Emmy, the bank called. Fix it. Do you understand? Fix it. I took a sip of coffee and said, Dad told me to go through his lawyer. Then I hung up. More calls, more guilt trips. Then, silence. That night, I stood on my balcony, the Denver skyline stretched out like an open wound, lights twinkling in the cold air. The silence wasn't punishment anymore. It was peace. A week later, my lawyer called. Apparently, Dad's attorney had emailed her, accusing me of financial harassment. She laughed so hard, she could barely finish reading it. This isn't a claim, she said. It's a bluff. Good, I said, because now we dig. I told her everything. The video, the money, the manipulation, and then something I'd ignored for years, the shady inconsistencies in Dad's community fund reports. We went through the numbers, and what we found wasn't sloppy accounting, it was theft. Dad had been skimming from the fund for years, hiding it behind fake expenses and vague descriptions. Tens of thousands gone. A few days later, my phone rang again. Unknown number. Emmy, a voice whispered. It's Lily, your cousin. She was crying. I saw the video, she said, and I need to tell you something. She told me what happened when she was 17, how Dad cornered her one night, how Denise said she was overreacting, how Lily had been forced into silence. My blood went cold. 2 days later, Mom's old friend Dana called. Her voice shook as she said, Your mom went through hell, Emmy. He drained her of everything. She never told you because she wanted to protect you. That's when it hit me. This wasn't dysfunction. It was a system. And I was the one finally breaking it. It happened the next Thursday. Sunlight poured through my window, gold and sharp. Then, 3 hard knocks on my door. I opened it. Richard Lane stood there, pale and trembling. Emmy, he rasped, please, you have to help me. The fund board's investigating. People are talking. You can fix this. You're the auditor. Tell them it's all a misunderstanding. He stepped closer. You're my daughter, he whispered, almost begging. I reached into my folder and handed him a single sheet of paper, a summary of all his flagged transactions. He stared at it, color draining from his face. What is this? The truth, I said. What the investigators already know. He looked up, desperate. You did this. I shook my head. No, Dad, you did. I just stopped hiding it. He stepped forward, voice cracking. You owe me. I stepped back. I don't owe you anything. Remember? You disowned me. He blinked, broken. I didn't mean it. That's your problem, I said quietly. You never mean the damage you do. And I closed the door. Behind it, I heard one soft, shaky breath. Then nothing. That was the exact moment his whole world started to collapse. Within a week, the board launched a full investigation. Questions turned into accusations. His reputation cracked under its own weight. Screenshots from the video leaked online. Chris tried defending him, but every post made it worse. By the end of the month, the house, the one I'd been paying for, went into foreclosure. Without my money, it crumbled fast. Meanwhile, I got a promotion. My boss said she'd never seen someone handle pressure with that much composure. I just smiled. Weeks later, I was back on my balcony, coffee steaming in my hands, the Denver skyline sparkling below. The air was sharp, clean, honest. For the first time in my life, I wasn't holding everything together, and it felt damn good. Family isn't the people you share blood with. It's the people who don't make you pay for love. Walking away wasn't revenge. It was survival. And setting boundaries? That wasn't cruelty. That was freedom. So if you've ever been the one holding everyone else's chaos together, hear me. You're not weak for putting it down. You're just finally free. Pause, drop your story in the comments, and subscribe. Because next time, we're burning down another lie.